Vicinity podcast, the greatest podcast of all time, in the ever conceived in the history of all existence. I'm Joshua, Vinegreal0423, Turbo Professor Joshua 9000. I go by many names, but more importantly, I'm joined tonight by our very special guest.
Ashyln Young.
All right, and before we talk about a single other thing, before anything else is mentioned, we got to get to the question everyone's on pins and needles waiting for me to ask you, which is, do you personally believe the Vinegreal 2256 is responsible for the shelling of the WCY from 1891, or do you think Vinegreal 8219 uses signature mind-controlling Szechuan sauce to disarm the ionic cell oxidators implanted in the subdermal nanobotic quantum molecular multiplasma radifraculator, thereby triggering a surge of toxically acidic radiation from Vinegreal 9576's self-calibrating electronic nuclear resonance device, effectively obliterating both Professor Clemens and Chemistry Steve's laboratories and Student 7?
I think the second one.
Props to you for actually remembering that that's an either-or multiple choice question, because so many of my guests just say, like, yes or no. And it's like, man, you don't get it, but I'm glad you do at least.
I have common sense.
But the second one, all right, so why is that? Explain your reasoning here.
Because you put more detail into the second one, so I was like, it's got to be the second one.
Oh, come on. I mean, that's just one very specific excuse. I mean, Vinegreal 2256 has been a shady character from the beginning. Vinegreal 2256 may very well deserve what's been coming to it. So I don't know, but you believe it was framed, and more specifically by Vinegreal 8219, and more specifically by that elaborate charade. So there really is no objectively right or wrong answer, but why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers here, to give them the quick rundown of the autobiography.
Okay, so I'm Ashyln. My life is pretty boring. I mean, a couple of interesting things have happened. My dad once shot a kid and went to prison for it, but he's out now, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just boring stuff.
Yeah.
Prison, murder, kids. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, who doesn't have that?
Yeah. Absolutely. Hmm.
So what else? Tell us more about yourself. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you do? What's your average day like? With future plans.
Okay, so I used to work at Steak and Shake. I ended up quitting there because that place sucks. Don't recommend that.
I mean,
I
it's a
have a
good place
dog.
to eat at. I've never worked there. Are you saying it's a terrible place to work at, or are you just saying like Steak and Shake in general, just avoid it?
It's a terrible place to work at. I mean, the food is okay, but
The service is crap, but the food is decent.
yeah, the food is good. I hate the management. I hate the night employees. I hate
Yeah, I don't like the way that place is run, but the place
yeah,
itself, I got nothing against. Like their menu, their prices, it's a fair place. But
absolutely.
all right, but I don't mean to interrupt. Proceed.
Okay. I have two dogs. I once stole one of my dogs. Her name is Shy. I stole her from a from a farm, hog farm. And then she gave birth to a pit Wawa. Anyway, um, I usually go on float trips, yearly. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so I go on float trips yearly. Um,
What is that? What's a float trip?
you don't know what a float trip is?
No, is that tripping on a root beer float or something?
Yeah, like you go on a river, you can either have a raft or a kayak or a john boat. Rafts are like really hard to tip. Like they're almost impossible to tip, but you can pop them because they're inflatable. A john boat is really hard to tip, but you can still tip it. And a kayak is just simple. And then a canoe, longer version of a kayak. Basically, those are really easy to tip. But you can go on like 8-hour
What?
floats.
Canoe?
Sorry?
I can't do it. Canoe?
A canoe?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
that's a Jungle Cruise joke. Anyway, but okay, so your annual float kingdom journey or whatever. What else?
that's pretty much it. Pretty much sums it up.
Huh. But like, what are your thoughts on 4D pants?
40 pants?
Yeah, 4D, fourth dimensional pants.
Like, I'm confused.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You know about 4D, you know the fourth dimension, and
Hmm.
then you know pants. Just put them together. They're 4D pants.
So there's like pants, but in 4D, not like 3D, just 4D?
I guess it's like you turn them inside out to put them on, if that makes sense. I mean,
Okay.
it's all semantics as far as I'm concerned, but it's really it's more about the wearer than the pants, but you know.
Well, I've never heard of them, so I guess I can't really have an opinion on it. But one thing I'm concerned about is this Area 51 raid. What what do you think about that?
I think it's a very timed reference that anyone after a few months from now probably won't get. I try to keep this podcast very timeless. Also, I'm not really too big into memes. I know that's a disappointment for a lot of people, but it's
I'm
not really
huge.
my cup of tea. I hope you don't take this as an insult, but you look like a TikToker.
I do watch TikTok. I
Oh,
don't
gee.
do TikTok. I do watch it though. I'm addicted to it.
I can just tell, I can tell within like 10 seconds that certain people like, yep, they're on TikTok.
Oh god.
That's all right. Nothing against you though. I respect, all people, but how many eels are in an hour, do you think?
How many eels
Yeah.
are in an hour?
Yeah.
60? I
So
don't
there's an
know.
eel every minute?
Yeah,
How does that work?
I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers. I
Well, you
figured
seem
there's
pretty
60
confident
minutes.
about it. I mean, you got to be prepared to back it up with, claims and evidence.
Yeah, because there's 60 seconds in a minute and there's 60 minutes in an hour.
You got
So
to
I
give me
can't
a cited page for this one.
well, I don't know. There's like that's just my thinking on things. I don't know.
So what kind of music you into?
Oh, um, that's kind of hard. Cause okay, so I'm kind of into like that rap or like that sad music. Like sometimes it can be like hardcore, sometimes it can be sad, sometimes it can be just like regular. So I'm kind of like in between. Like I kind of jump from genres pretty much.
Can you give us some names?
J Osama, I just saw him. J Osama, he's pretty cool. JTKZ, he's pretty cool. And then Phantom TV, they're pretty cool. They have like a bunch of different rappers on there though. And that's about all that I really listen to. Clayton Jennings, he's not really into music. He just kind of like yells at you, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's chill.
I mean, everyone needs a good yelling from time to time.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if there's any music. I have a lot of like screamo music and stuff like that, but I'm trying to think if there's any particular music that like is like that I feel like I'm being scolded. Like something that's like directly to the listener, like just a degrading, like insult written. It probably exists. There's probably something like that on my playlist. I just can't recall. Um, but if anyone in the comment section has any songs that that will scold me, yeah, definitely, I'll check those out. But
Absolutely.
uh, anyway, so if you could be, what's your favorite fish?
My favorite fish. I gotta say it's a great white, or a great white, like a great white shark.
Sharks are mammals. I'm not sure they're fish.
Sharks are a mammal.
I think so. I mean, don't they breathe air?
I
I
oh
think they
shoot.
breathe air.
Maybe they do. Shoot, I
Might
don't
be a
know.
different
Favorite fish. Okay, so like, are we talking like sea fish, ocean fish? Like, what kind of
Just
fish?
anything with gills that breathes only water.
Okay. Um, what about a crappie? I don't know.
Oh, what?
A crappie,
I don't know
like
what that is.
like a river fish, like a fish you can catch, or a bluegill, maybe. I don't know. What's your favorite type of fish?
Type. I'm not asking about like, oh, what's your type of fish? Like that's not. I'm not. Uh, the red lip batfish, frogfish. I don't know. There's some interesting ones out there. Jellyfish are pretty cool. Um, you know, they're also immortal. So if immortality is your thing, just really meditate until you become an immortal jellyfish, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's another way you can become an immortal jellyfish. But
That's
I assume most of my viewers probably are well aware of my channel. Um, but in any case, let me think here. Questions. I was doing something else right up till I started this, so yeah, I'm kind of switching gears now. Where do you enjoy traveling?
the only place I've ever traveled was Arkansas and Kansas City, and yeah, that's it. So I don't really travel that much. I'm more of like a stay in Missouri type of person. I just kind of
Uh,
go
you
from
live in
town to
Missouri?
yeah.
What's that like?
It's really lame, like one minute can be like 150, the next it's like a blizzard outside, and then there's tornadoes, and it's just,
Yeah, you know what? I've talked to dozens of people from Missouri, and not a single one of them were happy with where they lived. All of
oh,
them are miserable.
absolutely. I mean,
If
it's a cool
there's any
place.
any listeners in Missouri in the comment section who are happy with Missouri or have a theory as to why everyone doesn't like it, please let us know. But anyway, what?
So, I mean, it's not a bad place to live. It's really just like the changes in the air or whatever. But I mean, aside from all like the drug heads, like the crackheads and stuff, like nothing against them. Like that's their life, they can live it. But I mean, like I feel like it gets really creepy whenever you're simply walking down the street and someone comes up to you and offers you crack, and you're just like, "Oh no, like can't do
It's that
that, sir."
straightforward. Like
Yeah.
just you're walking on in the Walmart parking lot, just hey, you want some miscellaneous white powder from the Ziploc bag?
No, that's actually super funny you say that because like a couple months ago, me and my mom, we were going into Walmart and we saw this girl. She came out of the back of it because we always park in the back because it's not hard to find parking spots there. So we always park in the back, and we saw this girl wheeling a tire. She stole a tire from Walmart and was trying to get it into her car. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I once watched what I assume was some guy who robbed Walmart, but like, or stole something, shoplifted something, but I couldn't see what. It was just this guy. I think he even I was with my sister, and I think he even like asked us something, like asked for directions, like, hey, do you know where the nearest whatever, something. He said something to us, like asked something. I forget what it was, but he just seemed like a normal, average, everyday kind of guy, like there was nothing really off about him or whatever. And he was just holding a few items, like, I don't know, maybe a pair of headphones and like, I forget, like a little thing or something, I don't know, but maybe like $20 worth of stuff, just, the average things. And he was by the checkout, by the exit, and oh, okay. And so then he walks away and he just starts taking off. Like, he he was wearing sandals. He took the sandals off. He just abandoned them and just started running barefoot. They have these little people with the at the exit who like you check to make sure you have a receipt before you leave. And he just took off straight past them, just right out the door. just full into the parking lot, and people are like, hey, come back here, you need to whatever. So they called security on him, and security just comes walking casually out. It's like, dude, the guy's probably a mile away by now.
Absolutely. He's gone.
Yeah, that was just really weird. I thought it was kind of funny. It's like it's just not something you expect to happen. Like I'm sure the place he was asking for directions to is probably where we were going. So if we would have hung around, we could have been asked as like witnesses for this man's trial or something.
Right. That's funny.
Crime scene there.
I feel like people nowadays are just they just don't care. They're just like, oh, a kid? Let's take the kid. Like, who cares if I get shot to death or if I get life in prison? Like, let's take it. You know what I mean?
Well, that sounds oddly personal to you.
No, it's just
Hey,
like
do you mind giving us like more details surrounding this thing? I mean, that's quite a thing to just drop on someone as a drop. If like I mean, my dad he shot and killed some kid. He went to prison. I mean, he's out now though, no big deal or anything. But
okay, I've had quite the life. Like whenever I was younger, like I was always so crazy. But so basically the story behind my dad is he used to be a drug dealer. Like he used to go out and sell marijuana or whatever. No big deal. But I guess there was some 16-year-old kid that was planning on robbing him. And my dad always carried a gun on him because he's not stupid. But these kids didn't know, and there was like 20 people in this house that had guns pointed to him, but I guess they weren't loaded guns. But they were like, give us all your money. So I guess my dad just pulled out his gun and shot the 16-year-old kid. And then a couple days later, he ended up coming over to my mom's house, which is where me and my brothers were at, and he told us the whole story. We were we were laughing about it at first, and we realized how serious it was.
did you
Huh?
laugh about it first? I would think you'd be in shock first, and then you'd laugh about it later. But all right.
Well,
Like
my
what a
personality,
stupid kid trying to get in front of you. Yeah, you show him, Dad.
no, my personality, it's like I don't handle serious things well. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. I've laughed off a number of things I probably shouldn't have myself, but yeah.
I've laughed at a funeral once. That was really embarrassing because it was really loud. But so
I have the honor to say I have never been to a funeral. It's not one of the things I look forward to doing, but yeah, I have not been into a funeral so far. I have been to a cemetery, but
yeah, cemeteries. I used to always hang out at cemeteries. I used to be my hangout place. Will you stop? But yeah, so whatever you
but
told us,
proceed with your riveting tale, though. I think that's what everyone wants to hear about.
the what?
The riveting tale of your dad and the murder and the because
Yeah.
I mean like you said he went to prison, but like you're talking about a few days later. It's like normally people get arrested on the spot for things like that.
Oh yeah, no,
They
because
have wanted posters of him or something. Did he have like a warrant for a while and then he like gets pulled over for speeding and they take him to jail or something?
that would have been funny that did happen, but no, he actually ended up like the day after he told us about it, we kind of didn't believe him because he used to like to prank us. We were like, oh whatever, it's no big deal. And then he ended up calling my brother and he was like, hey, I'm going to stay at this hotel right across from the oh my god, right across from the police station. I'm turning myself in the morning. So we were like, okay,
Wow.
like serious?
Turning
And so
himself.
it's not like he was on the run or anything, because it was technically self-defense, so it's not all that bad.
Oh,
But
well, why he just like was feeling guilty about it. He just wanted to to turn himself in to feel like he was doing the right thing or something. Again, it's changed
yeah,
your heart. Decided he wants to be a good Samaritan now.
yeah, absolutely. So he was in prison for about 2 years. He got out like a couple days before my birthday, but so I was the only one that visited him. Oh my god, I'm sorry, my dog is being really annoying. But so I was the only one that ever showed up to prison to see him and visit him, and I actually grew really close to all the guards. So like we were all chill, like it was no big deal. But then whenever he got out, he
Park on
surprised
a
me at my
tree.
birthday.
You know, the guard follows you out into the parking lot. Hey, you want this Ziploc bag? Here, you know, just take it. I'll just put it in your coat pocket. Here, just
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just basically the summed up version of my dad killing someone.
Huh. Okay, I mean yeah, that's definitely a story, you know, you can pull out at the parties and the special events and everything, like, you know.
Well, I always bring it up. I think it's great.
Yeah. Not a lot of people would be as eager to share that as you are. So that it's great to you know find someone with that who's not like ashamed of that. Like, yeah, I have no father now. Like I can't, you know,
Yes.
seen it near him after what he's done, whatever, something like that. Either that or it'll be like, man, those stupid cops, man, you know, F the police. You know, they this guy took him in, you know, whatever. It's like you don't have either. You're just kind of like nonchalantly just kind of stating the facts like a non-biased Wikipedia article.
Fuck it, you know? Uh, People thought it was the funniest thing because one time it was like around seventh grade year, and I was sitting in class, and our teacher, she was looking up the history of our little place that we're in, like our little town, and my dad's mugshot popped up, and I was
Oh,
like, "That's my dad!" And everyone stopped and looked at me.
maybe even the local news.
Oh, it was hilarious. People thought it was so funny. And then she scrolled down a little bit more, and then my mom's mugshot popped up. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
God,
what?
that's mom.
What did you go to jail for?
Oh, my mom? Well,
Yeah.
it was actually at my brother's football game. We were all staying in a hotel, and my mom got super drunk,
Just
and
a
she ended up
little
fighting like
excited.
5 times.
Huh. So what? She just had to like take care of business for some people that were booing your brother's team or something?
No, it was literally, we were just in the hotel room, and we were staying with the other team that we were actually playing the next day, and we were just in there, and Gage and Kane got into it with some of the other football players, but whatever. And all of a sudden my mom comes out of the hotel room just gone, like she's blacked out drunk, cussing everybody out, hitting everybody. So someone filed a complaint,
Does
and then the
this
cops
happen often?
showed up. Huh?
Does this happen often?
Not anymore. We're more laid back people now that we're all grown up and crap. I
I
mean, she
assume
still
your
does.
mother.
My family's crazy.
Yeah, so it seems.
But I mean, that might be why I'm a little crazy, because I don't know. I don't really do anything crazy for real. I just kind of chill in my
Given
room.
the opportunity, though, you know, I don't know. I'd
Right?
be interested to see what you do in my shoes because I got some connections, you know. I'm not gonna say which, you know, organizations I'm affiliated with or, you know, like what I do with my spare time or anything like that. But you know, I I got quite the life. But man, you're making me seem like the most boring person on earth here.
I don't know. Life nowadays is super boring, super laid back. Don't do much.
Missouri's where the action's at, you know? They got everything. Football, dogs, guns, inmates, drugs, crime, yeah, tattoos, motorcycles, farms, meat, it's like cars, everything, you know?
Yeah, if there's a zombie apocalypse, Missouri's where it's at. Well, I mean, in Missouri, it's kind of already like a zombie apocalypse as of all the crackheads there are around. But I mean,
Same thing. They're basically zombies.
yeah, I mean, shoot, that's their life, not mine. I can't judge. Like, who knows how they got there?
Man, you're awfully sympathetic toward the druggies, you know? It's like, you know what? I mean, who doesn't? Like, I don't know. I mean, Where I live, that's not very common. You have maybe like one in like 50 people are crackheads, as opposed to Missouri, it's like apparently half the population or something. It's just like
It is over half the population. It's like every other person. It's bad.
that's what half is.
It's so
Wow.
bad. There's one time me and my mom walked into the gas station bathroom, and I looked down at the toilet, and there was just meth lines and like $100 bill that someone used to snort their meth, and there was a couple heroin needles. My mom
They're gonna spend the money. That's all they did it for. And now they're just throwing it in the toilet.
Exactly.
I love how it's $100 bill. It's not even like a $1 bill. You know, it's like they're the same thing. It's just
Straight 100. He was like, "Let's go
like
bigger."
they could have gotten the job done with the $1, but they're just that careless.
They probably thought it was a $1 bill. Shoot.
Speaking of gas station bathrooms, what's the funniest, weirdest, or most disturbing, just most notable thing that you've seen somebody like with graffiti or like, you know, carving in or some kind of message in a gas station bathroom? Because there's some pretty interesting stuff in some of those. And I would imagine even more so in Missouri, apparently, but I mean,
Yeah, there's okay. Well, there was an encounter. This actually was in the gas station. This was in my school's bathroom. Because I don't really go to the bathroom in the gas station. But this school that I go to, it's really country. Like a lot of country people go there. And then you have me, a really bad ghetto white girl, I guess you could say. I have no respect for the teachers or the principal. I don't care. I've lost all my respect for them. But that's a different story. So there was this one time I went to the bathroom just to get away for a minute. And I was sitting in the stall and I looked over because I heard someone in the other stall and I looked over and I was like, call this number for a good time. You know, you see those around, whatever. I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna kill my dog.
What? What, your dog was there? I don't understand. You kind of lost me.
My dog just pooped on my floor.
Oh, it's just getting swifty, man.
No, get down. That's nasty. That's disgusting. Okay.
Dog has name.
I will pick that up in a little bit. That is nasty. Ew. Okay, so
Anyways, did you call the number?
I did call the number, and it actually wasn't one of those sex hotline numbers or whatever. It actually ended up being one of my friends, and she was in class. And so I called her, and she was like, why are you calling me? Like, what is up? And I was like, that's your number on the bathroom stall. And she goes, what are you talking about? So I was like, come here. So she went to the bathroom. She met me in the stall. And I was like, that's your number. She goes, no, it's not. And I was like, I just called that number and it led to your phone, obviously. And she goes, okay. And so we were kind of looking around the school, see who put it there. And then it actually ended up being someone else. And they were like, no, I was on this Playboy thing on my TV and it said call this number for a good time, so I thought it'd be funny to put it on the TV. And so my friend was like, okay, I confess, I have a fake account and some people call me and I pleasure them over the phone. I was like, girl.
Pleasure them over the phone. Man, that's wow. I don't have a story to compete with that. Like I said, you're making my life seem boring here. He just got all the jeez.
And in school, she was one of the most innocent people. That's why we were friends, because she was the innocent one, and I was the bad drug dealer, little horrible student that was always in the, not really a drug dealer, but you know what I mean. But I was always in the office, you know.
You know, I killed some. I mean, not killed, but you know what I mean. You know.
I killed someone, but I didn't kill them.
Like, it's complicated. It's Missouri. It's a local thing. You get it.
Everybody knows everybody. It's all right here. Well, I don't know if everybody knows everybody. I know a couple people around here, but that's about it.
Some of your friends don't know some of your other friends.
Absolutely.
Oh, you hang out with them? Oh, that's it. We can't be friends anymore.
That's how it goes, I swear. That is, oh my god. That's actually happened to me before. Someone stopped being my friend because I was friends with someone from another town. They were like, no, we have beef with them.
From another town.
Funny.
Like the gang rivalries.
Swear. Oh god. And the sucky thing about me living in Missouri is because I'm like my town is literally in the middle of Missouri. Like you go to Missouri, you put your finger in the middle of it, and boom, that's my town. It's
Max dab in the sun.
yeah, it's where everything happens. So if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
But also, it'd be dope to get eaten by a zombie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Could be, not be. I don't know.
So where's one place that you really are excited to visit in your lifetime?
Thailand. I'm obsessed with Thailand.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I've always been obsessed with it. Like most people are like, oh, I want to go to Paris or Hawaii. Anytime I bring up Thailand, they're just like, okay, you're really weird. Like, what's in Thailand? And I don't know. I just feel like the culture is pretty cool. And there's some really cool beaches there and like different trails and stuff you can go. You can go to Japan in the Suicide Forest. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Make a vlog of it perhaps or something.
Maybe end up like Logan Paul. Maybe. I don't know.
Isn't that every kid's dream nowadays?
Yes.
It's so like I don't know how to feel about it, but there's definitely something to be said that like the 10-year-olds of today, like the 10-year-olds of like 20 years ago, you ask them like how they're gonna get rich, they'll give you this, whatever, they'll give you varied answers. But now you ask the 10-year-olds how they're gonna get rich. Oh, I'm gonna be the biggest Fortnite streamer of all time. I'm gonna be the king of TikTok. I'm gonna like whatever. It's like, like man, times are changing. Like everyone. These kids look up to I'm J Station and the Paul brothers and they're whatever.
It's kind of sad because some kids they don't really have like a father figure, like a mother figure. They don't have parents, and so they do go to YouTube to look up people, and like some people do get them into trouble because they look up to them, and like it can be like these people like smoking weed or doing crack. Weed isn't really that bad, but like
Yeah, I wouldn't put them in the same boat, but yeah.
But I mean, like,
Your kids could be doing cocaine or heroin or meth or marijuana. Oh no, not that. Yeah.
people make marijuana to be like the worst drug out there, and it's really not. It just kind of like mellows you out a little bit, makes things a little bit funnier.
Safer than alcohol, man.
God.
Honestly. I mean, people die from alcohol. Nobody's ever died from weed.
Exactly. People die from heroin and coke and meth and all that, but you can't overdose on marijuana. Yeah, you can smoke a lot of it and like get fucked up, but you're not gonna die from it. I don't think. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
The worst side effect would be the process of smoking, because smoking anything is kind of bad. So like you can mess up your lungs long term. You can maybe ruin your voice. It might even kill some brain cells. Not like too bad, like not exaggerated like it is in the media, but like if the process of smoke, it doesn't matter what you're smoking though, because smoking cigarettes is the same thing. So it has nothing to do with the THC. But the way to go is like edibles or something like that. Like just if you can get around the smoking process, and like vaping counts too because it's still like igniting, so it's like
Yeah.
if you could do that, then you could get off scot-free, I think, like then you won't even like, have any side effects.
Nothing will happen. Well, besides you getting a little high, but I mean,
Well, that's not really a side effect. That's kind of the intended, thing. That's like, I took aspirin and, besides it numbing, whatever, it's like, well, that's what it's supposed to do. I don't know.
yeah.
But anyway,
Makes
what were we saying?
I have no idea, to be
The
honest.
YouTubers or whatever, these kids nowadays.
Oh yeah, like kids. They'll like some people look up to them and like let's say they look up a YouTuber and this YouTuber's doing coke or meth on camera or something and uploading it.
They don't know it's fake. It probably is fake, but they can't tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, "Oh, I want to go do that," or like Juke Squad. Like I love the Juke Squad. Like they're cool or whatever. But like, let's like an 8-year-old little boy or little girl sees what they're doing and they live out on a beach and they're just like, "Oh, let's get like a couple beds and go out on the beach like they did," and they go do it and then like they end up killing themselves from it. But they do put disclaimers not to do it because they're professionals. But I mean, there are some kids out there that won't listen to those and will go out and like end up killing themselves, but there's not shit you can do about it.
So, all right. So, going back to the whole Missouri thing and all that, like, what's the strangest interaction you've ever had with someone? Like, one that just really sticks out to you? Like, oh, I'll never forget the time, this happened or whatever.
The time I almost got kidnapped by a van full of tweakers. That was pretty funny. So I was probably about like 10 or 11. So this was a long time ago. I was outside just playing in my front yard or whatever. I lived in this greenhouse over by this park, and I had a babysitter. Oh, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. My dog is being stupid. Okay. So anyway, so I was walking down to this park, or I was about to. I was asking my mom, and she goes, "No, I'll stay in the front yard for like 5 minutes, and then I'll walk you down there." So I was down in this yard, in my yard, just messing around, and then this van pulls up, and they're just like, "Hey, do you want candy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want some candy." Because
Yeah, I want candy. I don't even. Yeah, I'll get in. You don't need to persuade me. I'm in.
I looked at him and I was like, "Wait, really?" And they go, "Yeah, do you want candy?" And I was like,
What
"Okay."
kind of candy? Oh, what's your favorite? Yeah, we got that one.
Any
Hey,
kind.
French pie.
Nah, luckily my mom was there though because they ended up pulling out a bag of something. I don't know what it was. I didn't really see it. I don't remember it that well, but started walking over to this van and my mom sticks her head out and she goes, "Ashyln, who's that?" And I was like, "Huh?" And I looked back and she scared me and I was like, "These guys are offering me candy, Mom." And she goes, "Get the fuck back in this house right now. They're gonna take you." So I almost got kidnapped by a couple people, which was cool. I mean, I was down for it. It was candy.
Yeah. Wow. So if your mother wouldn't have saved you, who knows where you'd be now? Yeah.
I would be
No.
dead. Shoot, that would have
So
been bad.
so they just drive away then like, oh no, they're onto us.
Pretty much. As soon as they saw my mom's head stick out, they were like, "Drive!" And they took off. I was so confused at the time.
Let's go try the next street over.
So they
Let's
saw
see if
me
there's any
down
children joyfully frolicking through their yard. I Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's tried to kidnap me. I, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, there was this white van. There's this there's this place in the town I live in. called Milk and Things. For some reason, it's still there. I don't know how it survived all these years, but it's still around in 2019. Um, it's called Milk and Things, and it's in a plaza. It was within walking distance of where I used to live, like way back in the day, and so we would walk there sometimes, and there was always this white van. I mean, it was like your stereotypical like tinted windows, sliding door, like just straight up white van that was always there. And we figured maybe it was one of the employees or something, but the store closed at like 8 o'clock, and it was there at 3 a.m. You know, like it was just there 24/7, nonstop. And like
Mhm.
there's a bunch of weird activity around there. Like there were like people that would hang out. They like with all like dressed like their jacket, their hoodies and everything, hands in the pockets, you know, all suspicious looking and everything. So I don't know what was going on there. I was too young to understand what was going on. All I knew was it gave me the creeps. So I stayed away from there after dark. But yeah,
Right.
but there's not too much crime, you know, where I live because it's mostly like old people and stuff like that. It's just suburbs. It's kind of boring. In a way, I kind of wish there was, because like it would give me something to talk about. You know, like
Some
yeah, some guy, some thug tried to mug me the other day. You know, whatever. Like you know, I kind of wish I had these stories. You know, like but yeah,
that's
this
the whole
really.
thing where getting mugged. Oh no.
Do people still do that anymore? Because my friend brought up a good point recently. Is like, hey, I don't think like I have to worry about being mugged because it's like if someone wants to like say the main thing they could do is just like identity fraud, like they'll just like get your credit card number and like you know make purchases on it, but then you can like you could just cancel the card right away and get a new one, you know. And he's like, so it's not really effective anymore. I mean, sure, they can try to like get a $20 bill from my pocket or something, you know, or like pull out a knife and be like, give me that jacket or something. But it's like, you know, mugging isn't really all the, you know, like that it used to be. It's like, yeah, that's true, I guess. I don't know, but I feel like that still goes on though, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely goes on. It's just a lot more rare than what it usually was. But I feel like some people might still get mugged like every now and then. Like
Well, yeah. I mean, they probably didn't give up entirely. They're like, oh, you know, this is how we've been doing it for generations. You know, it's how we
right,
make money.
right. Um I
But
mean, I
I
know
feel like,
I'm from, people still get robbed and stuff. Like
mm,
my brother, he used to rob people all the time, but then he got into this relationship and he's kind of serious about it. But I don't know,
he's like, hey,
whatever.
I ain't gonna marry no criminal. You better cut that out and get yourself a real job and get cleaned up.
Well,
Yeah.
he's on probation right now.
Wow. Jeez.
Wow, I really do have a fucked up life.
Well, it seems to be normal for you. It's like, yeah, you know, everyone's either a drug dealer or, you know, a burglar or, you know, like some kind of like fraud or what, like I don't know. It just seems like everyone's a blasted criminal in Missouri.
Kind of. That's how it is for I mean, that's how I kind of grew up, was around a whole bunch of
Like,
idiots, I guess. I don't know.
I'm trying to think, like, what's the most illegal thing I've ever done? I don't nothing really. I mean, geez, we didn't even like set off fireworks. Like we even made the very very legal like the ones from like Walmart that you know that like that's because that's one thing I always wanted to do. I always wanted to have like real fireworks like all the neighbors, but you know we weren't allowed to do that. Uh, Trespassing, I can count on one hand how many times I've done that, and I can argue my way around each of those. Uh, I'm trying to think. I've never done anything like drug related, no like vandalism or anything like that. I've never like stolen anything or. involved in like fraud or money crimes or anything like that. Uh, I maybe like traffic things, like maybe like speeding or something like that. That'd probably be like the main thing. But just, small misdemeanors. Now, crimes I've witnessed, the one thing that sticks out to me is I watched some guy get beat up in a Burger King. So
See?
uh,
That go.
that was in inner city Miami though. So, you can kind of expect it there. But Miami's a crazy city, man. There's a lot of crime there. But yeah. I live like 2 hours away. Pretty peaceful here.
Not here, man. It's bad over where I'm at. I mean, there's a couple places in Missouri where it's not bad. It's more just like chill, lay back or whatever. But where I grew up, it's like every day you like hear or see a cop over by your house. That's still how it is where I live. Like I've woken up at least 5 times in one night. Like every couple of hours I'll wake up to sirens and like fireworks will go off and like sometimes you hear gunshots. Like some people are like, oh, I can't tell the difference between fireworks and gunshots. Well, when you live where I'm at, you hear a gunshot multiple times and then you hear fireworks, you can kind of tell the difference.
Gunshots are typically accompanied by screaming afterwards, sometimes sirens.
Yes. And you, because we live right down the street from a McDonald's.
Oh man, the
And
epicenter of crime.
yeah,
Where all
that's
criminals
where
go late night fix.
that's where like all the teenagers go and they drink there, they smoke there, and then they go to their parties and they go there after the parties and that's where they fight and stuff. Well, I guess one night there was a little bit of a thing that happened between a white person.
And just enjoy the show. Yeah, like I wonder, which gang versus which gang it's gonna be tonight. Like who's gonna
Exactly.
go at it?
That's how
I
it
got
goes.
on Team Red over there.
Bloods and Crips. Oh my god. We actually have a couple Bloods and Crips over where I'm at. We have a couple of them. Kansas City is where there's most of them at. And but there was this one time I was walking. It was probably like 3 in the morning, so it's crackhead hours. I was walking down the street with one of my friends, and um, we were just walking, and then I heard my name being shouted. So I turned around, and like 5 guys came out of this car, and I was like, "Who is that?" And these 2 guys started walking up, and I heard my brother yelling. I was like, Kane, because that's my brother's name, and I was like, hold up. And so he ran over to me, and then 2 of his friends came over, and he had like 5 cars over there, just blaring music, being loud, and I was like, y'all are gonna get in trouble. And then I ended up running from the cops that night because obviously it was past my curfew, and I was not trying to get put in. Screw all that.
Wow, just another day in the life.
Pretty
Just another
much.
diary. Ran from the cops for the third time this week. Gotta stop going to McDonald's.
Oh man. Nah, I've only ran from the cops one time, and it was just because I was out too late. And usually, if a cop catches you and you're out too late, they'll either take you home or they'll take you in, and then your parents will have to come get you. And I was like, I'm not about to do
Well,
that.
that's not a crime in and of itself. Like it may be against the house rules, but you can't. They shouldn't be able to take you to jail for staying out past your family curfew or whatever.
Well, no, down where I'm at, there's actually a state curfew where, um, I think whenever you're like 10 and 11, like younger than 10, you have to be in your house by whatever time, whatever, who, I don't even know. But like if you're not with a parent and you're like in your teenage years, then you have to be in your house by like I think it's like 12 to 5 in the morning. You have to be in your houses. And I was outside from like 1 to like 4 o'clock. And then it was around 3 that I got chased by my brothers, and then around 3:30, whenever I made my second lap around, and there was a cop and he turned on his lights, and I looked at my friend and I was like, "Run!" That was pretty scary.
Uh, so if you could be any kind of car, what would you be? Now, keep in
If,
mind, you're not the driver here. You're the driven. You are the car itself.
okay, so I'm the car.
Yeah.
Being a monster truck would be pretty dope.
Really? How so? You think that'd
Cause
be fun for the truck itself?
yeah, you're just huge and I don't know, just they're not you don't really see monster trucks anymore. I haven't seen a monster truck in so long.
I've been on, yeah, now that I think about it, I mean, I used to know, we actually used to have a neighbor like 10 years ago that had a monster truck. He invited us in a few times, but we always declined. We had because he was not exactly known for being, I mean, he was like a real redneck hillbilly, so he
Mhm.
was kind of a shady character. But the point is, I did eventually end up going in a monster truck once at the county fair. They have a monster truck rides there. So yeah, but yeah, they're not really mainstream. Like your chances of being stopped at a traffic light, and like the car in the lane next to you is a monster truck. That's pretty slim. That doesn't
Right,
happen all that.
right.
Hmm.
I mean, I haven't really seen one like I haven't even seen one at the fair because we used to have them at the fairs too, like doing like their little tricks or whatever. But we haven't even had those at the fair. Now it's all bull riding and horse riding and a whole bunch of country hick stuff.
Well, it is Missouri.
Yeah, got a point. But, I mean, I feel like monster trucks would still be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. But uh, like what are some of your favorite movies?
Ooh, okay. So my first favorite movie is The Truman Show. That's a good
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
And
that's good choice.
and then Lovely Bones. That's also a really good movie. If you're like into like kind of saddish movies, I guess. The Lovely Bones is pretty sad. He has Mark Wahlberg's in it back in his younger years. Um, and then Night School. Night School is probably my third favorite, like for comedies. That one's pretty good.
So you have like a favorite in each genre then.
Pretty much.
So what's your favorite horror movie?
Horror movie. It's gotta be Insidious. The very first Insidious. That's the one that has scarred me for life. I'm still scared from watching that movie, but slowly getting over it.
Hmm. So all right, like if you could live in any fictional universe, what would it be? Like any fictional universe, a movie, a video game, a book, a TV show, a comic book, like anything. If it's fictional, it counts.
Okay.
Like
Hmm.
you're not like the main character or anything. You're just like, you're just a background character. You're like an extra.
Right. So like I just grew up in there, like
Yeah,
I'm
like you can make up your whole backstory if you want, but you're just like that universe is all you know. You're not aware that there's a world outside of it. You're just like it's just how it is. Yeah. You just go about your day-to-day life in this location. Yeah, right.
I'd have to say SpongeBob SquarePants. I
Okay. Wow, that was unexpected. All right, why ever would you choose that?
because I mean I feel like water is pretty cool and like I kind of like the
Very
underwater
cool.
world.
With water in it.
So I don't know. I feel like being friends with SpongeBob and Patrick and Sandy and Squidward and all them would be pretty dope. I don't know.
Hold on here. Just because you live in Bikini Bottom doesn't mean that you're friends with all the characters or anything. I mean, you could be the My Leg guy. You're just like randomly spawned to someone.
Hey, I could still see
You
him
could be
though.
Old Man Jenkins.
Shoot, I still think it'd be pretty cool to live underwater and Bikini Bottom. I feel like trying Krabby Patty would be pretty cool. Pretty.
Would you
Yeah.
eat it in the chum bucket like at least once?
Would I try the chum bucket? Probably not, because that would mean I'd be eating my people. Because would I be a fish or would I still be a human?
I love it. No, you'd be fish. Like you'd be full on immersive. Like that world is all you know.
Okay, so yeah, I'd be a fish. So yeah, I would not eat at the chum bucket because that's other my
Get
fish,
his
right?
chum from, you know? Like that's what I want to know. That's like disturbing.
I've
I
never
feel like
thought of
it's
that.
some kind of like Willy Wonka kind of ordeal, where he's got like this whole like dark, sinister like sweatshop factory or whatever, like a slaughterhouse, you know?
Maybe that's what's in the fist, because it never shows us what's up in the fist. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Could be like a
Ooh,
whole Captain Crunch thing going on.
Simpsons would be pretty cool to be in too.
I can see
I
that.
don't know. Now I'm
I
all
mean,
thinking and
on
stuff.
that note, I mean, it, on that note, wouldn't it? I would rather live in like the South Park world then, because it's like that. It's basically South Park's basically The Simpsons on steroids,
Yeah,
So
South Park. Yeah, okay. That would be pretty cool to be in South Park. Didn't even think about South Park.
like you could just be one of the random kids in the back row of the South Park elementary class or something like that, or just you could be like a random parent or something, or just like just some nameless character.
I would definitely want to be one of the kids, one of the like kid characters that nobody pays attention to, cares about really.
See, the thing is, though, knowing that show, you'll probably get at least one episode that you'll get a cameo.
Yeah,
Like I feel like that's a show where everybody gets a turn. So,
right. Most definitely.
but yeah, I think that would be fun just because of the sheer absurdity, and like everything that goes on.
Yeah, that show's hilarious.
So what are your favorite TV shows then?
Favorite TV shows. Well, there's actually this new TV show called Euphoria that I'm pretty obsessed with. Or Euphoria or Euphorian, somewhere along those lines. But that's a pretty good show. Or Catfish is a good show too. Or Live PD is
Watch
pretty
any of
good.
those like you watch any of those like live action redneck reality TV shows or something?
I've watched Trailer Park Boys, if that counts as one of those.
It probably does.
I think it should, because that's like a reality TV show, but they're a whole bunch of rednecks. That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
I mean, I just try to avoid reality TV or just, daytime television in general. But every once in a while, like it's inevitable that like at some point you're gonna be like in some like fast food restaurant or at like some like waiting room or something, and there's gonna be reality TV on, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So
Right.
your phone dies and you realize you forgot to bring your charger, and like you're the only one in your party in the waiting room, and it's just a bunch of old people there, and watching TV is the one thing you'd rather do than talk to them, and like
Yeah.
yeah. But what? Okay. Oh wait, I'm surprised we haven't talked about this already. What are some of your favorite foods? Man, I can't let myself go an episode without talking about food.
Okay, food. Okay, I fuck with
This is
food.
the segment now.
I low key. I really like sushi for some reason. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with it. Either sushi or it's gotta be Chinese. Well, I guess Chinese and sushi kind of go hand in hand, but
Well, yeah, Japanese. I mean,
yeah.
so you like Asian food, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh.
But my favorite fast food restaurant is probably Wendy's, for sure.
Hmm.
Because their bacon cheeseburgers are pretty good.
Yeah, well, Wendy's isn't bad. For sure. They're not like disgusting or anything.
Right.
By the way, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't think Taco Bell is disgusting either. I eat there every once in a while. Though honestly, my main complaint with them is that they always screw up my order. That's really all I have to say about them. I mean, the food itself, it probably is disgusting, and I probably don't want to know what's in it. But for what it's worth, it gets the job done. I'm not gonna like be all like stuck up about it and be like, oh, I can't eat this filth. What is this Admiral's feast? I ordered the ultimate feast. I don't know.
Right.
I'll just get the T5 or whatever.
Okay. I don't usually eat at Taco Bell a whole lot. It's like,
Oh no, it's far from my favorite fast food restaurant. I'm just saying, I don't think it deserves quite as much hate as it gets.
oh yeah, absolutely.
That and Applebee's. I don't understand why so many people don't like Applebee's. Applebee's is fun.
I
I don't
love
have
these.
complaints.
I love their wings. Their wings are pretty good. And their ribs.
I mean, those are pretty much just staples for any like bar and grill. TGI Fridays, Chili's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Beef O'Brady's, ale houses. Just that whole aesthetic. But I mean, Applebee's in particular, I don't understand why people don't like it. I mean, they got the half price appetizers after 10. They got good drinks. It's good prices. They got karaoke sometimes. That's always a real hoot. Like it's what's not to like about it? They got a good menu, they got good prices, and just good
They
times
have
with good people.
ours have a bar in it. I don't know if others do,
Yeah,
but
yeah, they do. They're open late. They're open when nothing else is open, and
right.
it's a lot. Like right now, for example. Well, right now it's after 2 a.m. where I am, so I think even Applebee's is closed. But like right now, all that's open is like Walmart, Walgreens, and like the gas stations, like 7-Eleven, and whoa, crap, maybe just 7-Eleven. Wow. And then McDonald's. I think that's even the only fast food restaurant. I think even Wendy's closes drive-through at 2. But like that's one thing. It's like there's nothing to do, and like my roommate and I will like like want to go out and do something at 3 a.m. and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, everything's closed. Oh, we'll find something. We'll go to IHOP or Waffle House or Denny's or something. Like
Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from now. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
there used to be a. It's funny we should circle back to this, but there used to be a 24-hour steak and shake. Well, most steak and shakes are 24 hours, but there's a steak and shake like 10 minutes from my house, and we would go there all the time because they used to have happy hour from 2 to 5 a.m. and p.m. So we'd always go for the a.m. happy hour. We'd go at like 3 a.m. and get half price shakes and like we look like complete weirdos, and it was always funny trying to guess our the two of our dynamics, because we're close to the same age, but we look nothing alike and all that. And so, then people try to guess like, okay, are they brothers? No, probably not. Are they like cousins or something? I don't know. And it's like, no, we're roommates, man. It's like it's a really weird thing going on there. But it's like we walk up to Steak and Shake, we usually go with the theatrics, like we'll walk in and have some fake like discussion or something that we put to an end. Like we like entertaining people, me especially. I just like to ham it up and make people's days.
Right.
Like 'cause I know those boring people. I mean, those bored people behind the counter. Like, like you would probably know from being on literally the other side of the fence here. But like, the kind of people that work at like Steak and Shake and such, like they probably are just looking for some excitement. I mean, in Missouri, they probably have more than enough already. But I mean, where I live, it's pretty desolate and boring. So, like nothing's really going on. So if you have some people, these two guys walk in and they're just like, they're just like being loud and crazy and like, cracking jokes and stuff like that. And like, oh, what do you got? Yeah, give me one of those there, whatever. You get it. You just, but so yeah, the point is we go and we get the happy hour, but and it was always a good time. It was always fun. They were always I always like night shift people, like workers and stuff like that. I feel like they're a lot chill, or like they just have like they're just like, I don't know, like the people, like the cashiers at 7-Eleven at 3 a.m. It's like, yeah, of
Yeah,
course they're hot, but like they're just like, they just got a perpetual smile on their face, and they just like, yeah, what's what can I do for you? Just
right.
you want a pizza? All right, all right, I feel that, yeah. So kind of toppings you like? Yeah. Oh, you want the pepperoni? All right, let me just. Oh, that's not the but. All right, hold on. Yeah, it's this one. Like whatever. It's fun. But the Steak and Shake actually got closed recently. They got shut down by the health inspector. So, yeah, yeah. I don't know, but
That's
oh,
kind
I mean, I'm just sad more than anything because I miss that Steak and Shake. I wanted to go there so many times since then. Yeah.
I just have to go back to Steak and Shake to get my last paycheck, and I
Oh,
am never going there again.
hmm, okay.
Hate that place.
Well, I
And
understand you work there and you had a bad experience, so you wouldn't want to go there. But I mean, from a customer's point of view, it's like, yeah, I got nothing on this.
right. I mean, I feel
Also,
like the way, what were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say, also another 24-hour restaurant, or some of them are 24 hours, some of them aren't, but it's pretty close. Um, that is really underrated is Perkins. I'm not sure if they have those in Missouri, but
We
they
haven't heard.
yeah, I don't think they get a lot of hate, but they're just not really talked about, and I think they're good. So I'm just gonna give them a quick shout out here, some publicity. Shout out to Perkins. Every time I've been there, it's been an overwhelmingly positive experience. I like their menu, I like their styles. They got a killer bakery. They got really cool drinks and stuff like that. They got like a lot of food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all day, all night. It's this the staff's great, the service, everything. Yeah. Perkins is a good restaurant. I have no complaints. Anyway, what?
I was gonna say, yeah, Perkins is pretty good. I remember I went there for breakfast a couple days ago, and I had a good experience there. So
Hmm.
happy vibes.
So, what are some of your favorite video games?
Oh, I have to say I'm pretty good at Minecraft, but I just started playing Uncharted 4, and that's a pretty fun game to play when you got nothing better to do.
Man, don't even get me started on Minecraft. I can go on a hour-long rant about that. We could have a whole podcast episode just dedicated to Minecraft.
Well, I love Minecraft, dude. I mean,
Yeah, it's my I consider it the official game of my generation. I was like the perfect age for it too when it came out. It's like, and follow it through my childhood, with all the updates and everything.
yeah. I feel like people are just now starting to realize how good of a game Minecraft actually is. But whenever I played it and always showed off all the buildings I made, people always made fun of me for it. And now
What
they're
a
doing the same thing I
stay
did.
inside. Minecraft, and now it's what all those kids are doing too. Like, yo, hey, I build stuff too.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Whatever floats their boat, I
No
guess.
friend till you're popular.
Right.
But I'm yeah. See, the thing with Minecraft though is it's one of those rare games where not only did I grow up with it, but it grew up with me. Because like the game started out very simplistic, and with each update, it got more and more complex. So it's like the game's evolving as I'm growing up and getting. It's like it's a really cool and intimate relationship.
Right.
And like the kids that are just getting into it now, like they won't have that. They won't have that, because like the game's already like really complex and everything. So they pretty much start off with the full thing. They're not gonna, which is cool. I mean, it's great, but like, it's one thing when like, you're waiting for like, you can reflect on and say, oh man, I remember back in the day when, zombies were the only monster, and when like there wasn't like redstone wasn't a thing and like, there wasn't like rails or electricity or anything like that. It was just a simple, whatever, and like they didn't have the nether or anything like that. And it's like, and now, they got all this stuff and it's like, you won't be able to have that with them. But who knows
Right.
what Minecraft holds, because I mean they're not done yet as far as I know, so I'm excited.
Exactly.
But I just hope that it never loses its simple charm. I'm just worried that if they keep adding too much to it, eventually it'll just become like, it won't be just a simple, classic, fun, square block game.
It'll be like mathematical type things. I hate math.
Yeah,
Absolutely
who
hate math.
doesn't? I think even mathematicians secretly do.
Probably. I'm literally trash at math. I've done pre-algebra twice my high school year. Like my freshman and sophomore year. Did pre-algebra 2 times. That was tragic. I got made fun of for that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's
So
okay. It's okay. I passed with a D. Just really bad at math. Nothing wrong with that.
So what? So what's one of the most embarrassing stories from your childhood, or from? It could be from yesterday. Actually, I don't care. Just what's one of your most embarrassing stories?
Hmm. Well, there was this one time me and my friend, I was in 4th grade. Me and my friend, we were swinging. It was at Boys and Girls Club. And we were swinging like side to side. Like we weren't doing it right. But we were just swinging side to side. And she would go under me and I'd go over top of her. And then I'd go under her and she'd go over me. Like, so it was really funny to me, and I ended up peeing my pants all over her, and then she peed her pants, and people called me PP Ashyln for like the rest of the year.
Stupid nickname. Like it's not even clever.
I know. They just were like PP Ashyln. It's like, okay, like Shitty Poo Larry, shut up. You know what I mean? I
Yeah, they
mean,
could have at least thought of like a catchy, clever nickname. Like
right.
they can do. Anyway, so that's your most embarrassing story, like this whole crazy life you have, and that's I mean peeing your pants on a swing set as a little kid. I mean that seems like suspiciously tame.
I mean, I don't really get embarrassed that easily. It's like if you pants me or something, like in front of everybody, like I'll probably laugh about it and be like, oh, like y'all just like cool, like I'm still covered up, like that's not really that embarrassing to me. Um, I have had fireball poured over the top of my head one time, which was okay because I mean I smelled like cinnamon afterwards, but that's not my fault really.
What was the story behind that? Was it like a punishment or was it like a reward? Like, like you're at a party or something and you like climb on top of the tables and it's like, yeah, come on, whatever. Like, were they like making it rain or was it like a punishment like of shame or something? Like, there's so many different ways to take that.
No, basically I was at this party
Yeah,
and I was over in the kitchen area and I was getting a glass of water because I was not like I was
yeah.
burnt out on drinking and yeah, water. No, but I was burnt out on drinking for a minute and I was starting to get a headache and I felt myself like getting dizzier and stuff and I didn't want to black out at that party because I could have done something really
Oh,
bad.
sure, when you wake up, yeah.
Exactly. So
Or
I
even
was like,
if.
I'll get a couple, like a glass of water real quick. So I went and got water, whatever. And then I remember I heard my friend in the room, she started screaming. So I ran to the room and I was like, what are you doing? And this guy is just pouring vodka all over her. And I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, do you want some? And I was like, no, I'm good. And then one of his friends
I
came
guess
out
he was
with
at
a
least
fireball.
shirtless.
My friend actually was. I think they just got done you know, sleeping together. But I mean, I was like, whatever, it's a party, people do that, I guess. But I wasn't expecting to get fireball dumped all over me, but it's like, okay, like I'm soaked now, but
You on
thanks.
on top of some sort of furniture?
No, I was just kind of chilling. I was standing in the middle of the room,
It
like
seems
wondering
like
what is going
they have,
on.
like on like when you're just like standing on top of a table or something like that. Like that's just the image I have in my mind.
Yeah. There's like
While
50
there's
people
some kind of
throwing
chanting
water
going on
at
in the
me.
background and people gathered around in a circle.
That would be pretty dope. But no, sadly just happened in the back of the room with two guys and one of my friends. Looked bad whenever we walked out though. Makeup was everywhere and I was like, I don't even know what happened.
Huh.
Oh man.
So
Interesting.
are you on team Wisbo or team Frobbles?
I'm be honest, I don't know what that is. Is that like Rick and Morty or something?
Oh no. No, it's not Rick and Morty. It's Wisbo or Frobbles. It's the debate everybody's having. It's torn the internet in half. It's our society's it devolved into chaos because everybody is arguing over who's better. But the time has come now for you to take a side, Wisbo or Frobbles.
Okay, I'll say Wizbo because Wizbo kind of sounds cool.
You're gonna have to justify yourself on this one. I can already see the surge of angry comments on this one now. I'm just gonna stay out of this one. You go ahead and explain yourself. I'm gonna go pee real quick. All right, I'm
Okay.
just gonna let you talk to the viewers here about why Wisbo's better. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know what Wizbos or Frabbles is. It's kind of like a first time hearing it, and I think Wizbles or however the heck you say it, it just sounds cool. Frabbles sounds like a frog, you know? So why not Wizbles or Wizbos? Know what I mean? I don't really know. But here's what I am going to do. I am going to get a drink of water. Oh.
Oh man, it's been silent the whole time.
I explained myself, and now I'm getting water.
Trust you on that one. Anyway, so uh uh I don't have notes or anything or my questions written down, but What's the funniest thing you've seen, heard, or otherwise encountered in the past 24 hours?
Ooh. Um. Oh, so last night I was on Yubo Live. You actually came into that. That was pretty funny. But you came in moments after someone joined in. Like I invited him in because he asked me to. So I was like, okay, whatever. And so I invited him in because no big deal, you know. And he just started yelling at me. He called me a white trash whore, skank, blah, blah, blah. Because I guess I unadded him on something. But I just thought it was hilarious. And then he left.
He probably does that to everyone. It's probably his shit.
Yeah, but he said this is for Ashyln and then went off on me. I was like, this is for unadding me on.
Did you just take a glance at the first name you see, whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
But who am I to talk? It could have been one of your old childhood rivals or something from the next town over, I don't know.
Maybe from like Tipton or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We already talked about food. Okay, so if you could have dinner with any celebrity, who would it be? You don't have to think of it as like a date or anything like that. It's more just like hang out with them for a few hours.
Channing Tatum.
Why is that?
Because he's hot.
Okay, fair enough. It's reason enough for a lot of our viewers.
Yeah.
It's all that matters when you think about it. You got to cut right to the sandwich.
Absolutely. Who would you go out on a little dinner thing?
It's the Ask Joshua Questions podcast now or something? I don't know.
Yeah. You took over my Yuho Live. I might just have to take over your podcast.
It doesn't work that way, though. I'm the one who's supposed to be taking over things. I'm going to take over the world.
This is payback.
All right. Man, I never actually thought about this one. It would probably be like, there's this guy on. It might be either a YouTuber or a musician. As far as YouTubers go, I think Charlie Penguin Z0, a fellow Floridian, I think that he'd be pretty cool to hang out with. Or Ephemeral Rift, my favorite ASM artist from Pennsylvania. As far as musicians, I think maybe like Corey Taylor or something, or maybe possibly like Matt Bellamy or any of the guys from Muse. They're pretty cool. I got to see them in concert once. That was great. I didn't get to like shake any of their hands or anything like that. We got crap seats, but we got there. We made it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Probably something like that.
Okay.
Anyway,
About YouTube, I would go with either the Juke Squad or Tfue. Because I don't know. That's like who I've been watching lately. Or who I've been watching lately. They're in Florida, but
yeah, it's interesting that South Florida alone has a decent amount of, famous people. Eric Andres from Boca Raton, XXX Tentacion, of course, is from Broward, I think. There was one more, I forget who it was. Florida itself had, Justin Roiland lived in Florida, so did Corey Taylor. I think River Phoenix was from like the Gainesville area. But like, there's a decent amount of You know, a lot of bands are based out of Florida. Alter Bridge, Trivium, Shinedown, maybe Seven Dust. I'm not sure, but you know, a decent amount.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, do you play any instruments or anything?
Um, in 5th grade, I used to play the violin, and then my teacher told me that he never wanted to see me again because I was horrible at it.
Oh wow! Well, words of encouragement there. I
Absolutely.
probably heard.
I mean, people laughed at me for it, but I was also laughing because I thought it was hilarious. And I just made it a thing at school. I would shout down the halls like, "Oh, it's funny because I won't be here next year because, I ended up moving."
Well, it's good to be able to laugh at yourself, you know, and like to not get offended, you know, just laugh along with the people laughing at you. It just kind of diffuses the
Right.
whole situation, you know.
I
Like,
mean, it kind of catches some people off guard because some people they'll
oh
say something that they think is offensive to me, but then they just see me like die laughing. And then there's like, is she crazy or something? Like, no, I just don't take offense to very many things. I think it's funny.
yeah. No, I have a tendency to sort of be kind of passive aggressive with some of my guests on here because I think it's fun. But I don't make it too obvious. I make it like the kind of thing where like it'll go over their heads at the time, and then maybe if they watch it back like a few months later, they'll be like, "Oh, what? I don't even remember him saying that," or you know, and making that jab at me or something like that. You know, it's just fun. Like I kind of look forward to the day where like somebody walks out like on an episode, like they'll hang up on me on the Skype call, like they'll just get legitimately mad at me and just be like, you know what, screw this podcast, I'm out. I don't want to be, you know, kind of like Eric Andre style. You know how like a handful of the guests have walked out on him. It's like that's kind of because I say to a lot of people, I'm like the Eric Andre of podcasts, you know, in a lot of ways. This episode is more tame, but some of them get really wild, you know. So
That'd be hilarious. I would definitely give that video a thumbs up if someone was like, "Oh my god." No. I would die laughing if someone just hung up on
yeah, it
you. Like,
hasn't happened yet, but it might. And even if it happens like 20 minutes in, I'm still labeling it as a full episode. I'm still up. Even if they tell me don't upload this, don't use this footage, I'm still gonna do it because it would be a milestone.
absolutely. That
Um,
would be like,
I am trying to reach out though to some pseudo celebrities, to get them on the podcast, to you know to see. Do you have any suggestions by any chance, for people who you think could be interesting on this podcast?
no. There's actually this YouTuber, he's my ex, and he's like, he's
Okay.
he's pretty cool, like he's chill. He has a YouTube channel. It's called Us Smacked. And he basically just does like little live videos of him playing the like Fortnite or something really lame. But you should like ask him to be on the podcast and just make fun of him, and he'll get so mad. It's so funny.
And we could have him be the first guest to walk out, yeah, to hang up.
He would.
I'll
It's
just
hilarious.
insulting nonstop. I'll just berate him. Like the first second he walks on, oh dude, what are you wearing, man? What is that? Is that like a, you know, whatever? And just start making fun of him. Man, your voice sounds like a, you know, whatever. Just roast him relentlessly the entire time, with like before he even says a word. You look like, you know.
That would be hilarious. I would die laughing.
And I'll just like name drop you at some point just randomly.
Yes.
Wait,
That would
what did
be
you say that channel was again?
Us Smacked.
Okay.
UHSMACKED.
Okay.
I could
Hmm.
send you the link if you wanted me to, like after
Yeah,
this whole
sure.
thing.
Episode, yeah. I'll have anyone on, I don't care. All right, so it's getting pretty late in the episode now, so it's I'll give you this opportunity now to turn the tables, and you can ask me some questions if you want, because being the acclaimed internet celebrity that I am, Vinegar 0423 Turbo Professor Joshua 9000 and so on, I'm sure you're just burning down the wire, just on pins and needles here, waiting to shove a microphone in my face and a camera and ask my questions about something. So,
Okay, I have this question. So, what made you want to start your YouTube channel? Basically, like, what
Oh,
inspired?
why you gotta ask the most cliche questions, you know?
I don't know. Just spinning in my head. I was like, who is this guy, and why did he want to make some like goofy, hilarious YouTube channel? And like,
So, are you talking about like the inspiration for the content specifically, or like the fact that I have a YouTube channel?
either one, basically, like whichever.
Channel was
Like,
created out of necessity because they were essentially gonna like block me from their platform if I like because I would upload like everything I would record would get uploaded to YouTube but privately
uh-huh.
to save space on my phone so I could just like delete the video right after. So just everything would go on there and they were just kind of one day they just were like, hey, you're kind of misusing our platform here, it's just you just upload a bunch. This isn't like a free storage space. Like if you want to have an actual channel and just like have some private videos here or there, that's one thing. But we can't have it just 100% private and 0% public. So they kind of and since I didn't have a backup of any of that stuff because I already deleted it all, it's the only place I could view some of my older content. So it's like, all right, I guess I'll have to make a channel. I mean, how hard could it be? And it's something that I've been toggling with for a while anyway. That was just kind of the last straw. So I made my channel trailer and, it just kind of took off ever since then.
Oops,
But
do it
as
pretty
far as
well.
as far as the content itself, it was just like, I mean, it started off as just stuff I would do already, like the meowing videos and like Minecraft and, the Let's Read Lovecraft and the guitar stuff and all that, and then it just kind of evolved into like, what can I do with, this and that? And then I started the podcast, and I tread new
Oh,
waters.
that's pretty smart.
Yeah, a lot of people say podcasts are on the way out. Well, whether or not that's true, I really don't care. I mean, I do it because it's fun. And I would be doing this even if I wasn't recording. I just figured, it would make for good content, So,
Right, right. And I'm sure whenever like you get bigger, because I have a feeling that you might end up getting up there, kind of like what is his name? iDubbbz or something like that. Like he probably started off pretty small, and the fact that you got 436 subscribers in a year, that's pretty good. Like I know
yeah, I don't know.
that.
A lot of people get thousands of subscribers overnight.
Well, I mean,
I mean, I very easily could just be making like clickbait, like meme, like low effort, videos. I mean, yeah, a lot of my videos are low effort, but at least they're honest and upfront, But
right,
it's just like stuff that nobody's going to be searching up, Like I could make custom thumbnails and tags and like, all this stuff and pay for advertising and all of that, but I just don't because I don't edit my videos either, so that's the thing. Like if I have like wacky animations and filters and zoom ins and jump cuts and like whatever, like I'm sure I get more views that way. But to me, it's I don't
everything's
want to sacrifice integrity. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions before we wrap up here?
I can't think of any more. This has
Yeah.
been going on for a good hour
All right.
and a half.
So it's a healthy podcast length. So what's our grand finale gonna be here? Like I leave it up to the guest each episode to like to really a good episode needs a good ending, So it's like Just like some kind of grand finale. Like, all right, is it gonna do some prank calls, or we're gonna do like a challenge or something, or I'm gonna like eat a spicy pepper, or I'm gonna like do a freestyle or something, or run around my house or whatever. Just what like a bunch of like different things that guests do to like take us out as the ultimate grand finale. So, what are you gonna do?
Hmm. I cannot think of it. Okay, what if we did this? What if we prank called my ex-boyfriend?
The YouTube guy?
Yeah, the YouTube guy.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go get this other phone real quick for my brother. He might be in here in just a second, so like he can see what's going on, and we can fuck with them. Okay, I'll be
Okay.
right back. Hold on. Okay, so that's a no-go on that. He said no. He's freaking lame. He's like 13. Okay, so then what else could we do?
I mean, you could still do it. I mean, I can play the part of the second person if you want. Like if you give me some lines or something.
Okay, how should we go about it?
That's on you. You're the guest of this episode. You are a resident brainstormer.
Oh God. Well, okay, maybe we ditch that one. Maybe, hmm, we could think of something else because I don't know if my phone will work anyway. Like with the whole Skype thing and then the whole calling
Oh, you
thing.
don't have like another phone to use?
No, otherwise I definitely would. Hmm.
Oh, excuse me. I just thought everyone had at least two phones.
I used to have two phones, but
No,
one
I don't.
one of them
So,
didn't.
well, technically I do, but it's my collection of phones I used to have that I just never sold because they're usually broken or fried. But yeah,
Right.
but I don't think they would work. One of them might, but that's beside the point. Anyway, what's our finale gonna be?
Okay. What do you have in mind? Like, I'm
I
not.
don't know. Do you have any talents or anything?
Do I have any talents?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I don't know. You want to like what's like a trending challenge on the internet or something?
Trending challenge. What about the cinnamon challenge?
Sure, that is whatever.
Okay. Do you want to do it?
Oh no, I'm not. You're the guest. It's your
I have
chance.
to do it.
Yeah,
Oh
and
God.
the viewers to show off. How awesome you are. Whatever to the viewers.
Well, I'm not that
This
awesome.
is
I'm
your one
pretty
and only cameo on my channel here. This is your time to really wow the audience.
Okay, I can really wow the audience. Oh, I just dropped my ladder. This just came to my head. My dog has a really crazy growl. Hold on. Listen to this growl. It's hilarious. I need you to cooperate. Come on. Hold on. This might take a minute. I have to get her riled up. Oh, come on. Of course she's not gonna do it right now. Oh, there she goes. Come on. It's okay. Show off your growl. Okay, well, she's obviously not gonna growl because she's being stupid. So that was a no-go.
I mean, you couldn't get away with that as the finale. What about the cinnamon thing or whatever? Let's just do that.
The cinnamon thing. Okay. Okay. Y'all are gonna laugh at me, but okay. Ouch. Alrighty. I'm gonna get my water real quick. It's gonna take a second. Okay. I'm kind of nervous.
Nah, it's quite all right. It's probably the only time in your life you'll have to do this.
Probably. Okay. We have the cinnamon.
Cinnamon sugar.
Hey, that's all I have.
It's basically sugar. It's basically brown.
And sugar. How did you even read that? Was it that close?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Let me see if I have ground cinnamon.
it's basically brown sugar.
We have chili powder.
Yeah, do that instead.
Okay. You're trying to kill me, yeah? Okay.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine it's that spicy. I mean, chili peppers are like, medium.
Yeah. Okay, is that enough?
The whole spoonful, yeah, the whole rounded spoonful on one bite, no liquid.
This
You're
is
not
gonna.
gonna die. It's all right.
Oh god. Okay.
You're not gonna
This is
die from one spoonful of chili powder.
this is a lot of chili powder.
It's like a serving. All right, come on.
Okay. Okay, are you guys ready for this?
Yeah, all right. We don't need the whole YouTuber intro, 10-minute, like, subscribe speech.
Yes. You can say all that while I'm choking to death.
Yeah, all right. Oh, okay, yeah, good idea.
So it
All right,
takes
so I'm gonna give the outro spiel. You do that, all right?
Okay.
Hey, there, for those of you watching. Hey, do you want to be on the podcast? Do you want to do this? Well, it's really as simple as one, two, 1 and 2. Is step one. Go to Skype, right? Because everybody is Skype. Because forget Discord or anything like that. I mean, Skype is the way of the future. It's how people of the future communicate. Do you want to throw up on camera? Like, whatever. This could be you. Who doesn't want this to be them? The point is, go to Skype. I can be found there. Mr. Everything Man, same as my channel, spelled the same and everything. Just search me up on there. Hit me up and be like, hey, I want to be on the podcast. Please keep it to podcast only inquiries, though, because, I get, Skype's just for podcast people. But if you want to contact me about anything else, just to hang out or whatever, joshuaisokay@gmail.com is my email address. Otherwise, if you want to be on the podcast, just search me up on Skype, Mr. Everything Man, and just be like, hey, I want to be on the podcast, and we'll find a day and time that works for both of us. Anyway, let's tune back in now to our the aftermath of our chili powder challenge here, where our guest seems to have broken both rules.
I died, okay?
You threw it up into a garbage can and then started drinking whatever's in that mug.
It's just water. And it is kind of spicy, not gonna lie.
Kinda spicy. Yeah, jeez. Man, I'm not like making you eat a dried ghost pepper or something, or a Carolina Reaper. But
I would not do that.
Uh, Anyway, so why don't you take us out here? What's our quote of the day or word of wisdom or just something we could use for a soundbite like a cold open, like on tonight's episode of the Vicinity of Infinity podcast, and I'll just get like a soundbite or something. What's our trailer gonna be?
Okay. Here's the word of wisdom. Don't do drugs and don't drink, kids.
Drive sober or get pulled over.
Yes. Click it or ticket, kids.
Yeah, click it. Hug your kids at home, belt them in the car.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
you
are
can
all
see seatbelt. All right. Anyway, yeah, we've been going for an hour and 45 minutes here. Anyway, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Thanks for, coming on the show. And thank you, viewers, for listening. And a good night to all. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I'm glad to be, back in the swing of things and all that. We got a great lineup. We got a great show for you tonight, but all right. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Have a good night. I'll see you later.